So in this episode, what we are going to do is that we are going to add a web chat to our ShopEasy contact center, right? So up until this point, we've created our contact center. We've learned how to integrate Lambda to personalize some of the experience. We've integrated Lexbots. We've spoken about queues, hours of operation, and a whole range of stuff. Today, we are going to learn how to embed web chats into this, and then we will take it out from there. So to do that, the first thing we are going to do is to create our communication widgets, or pretty much our touch widgets. So to do it, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add a widget. So I'm going to call this one ShopEasy. And then I'm going to configure it. So the first one I'm going to do is that I'm going to enable people to be able to start their own chat, enable recipient, and then for the contact flow, I'm going to select our inbound contact flow, the contact flow we're working with, right? The ShopEasy contact flow. And then for this chat, I'm not going to do web calling and all these things, so I can leave them as it is. Nothing fancy. This is going to be a very simple one. So I'll leave it as it is, and then I'll click on save and continue. Now this is where we configure our chat widget. So pretty much the chat widget is what you see, right? The chat interface you see when you integrate it with your website. So in here, we can make a little bit of customization depending on what you want. So for example, if I want the icon color to change, if it's white, I can leave it as white. Say, let me see, if I want to change the font, I can change it. What else can I change? These are things you can play with, right? My headers, and there are lots of customizations that you can look at the documentation to make. But just since this is a quick class, I'm just going to leave these ones as default. Click on save. So one very crucial bit is this: when you're integrating the chat widget that we are building as part of your web application, what you do is that you have to add your domain or your URL to this. Because this is a test, I'm going to just integrate it with a local host application we are going to build. And then for now, for security, I'm just going to do no. Click save and continue. And then my chat widget is generated. This is the script we are going to integrate with our website. So I'm going to quickly ask Claude or any AI tool to help generate a simple website for me, which will integrate our widget with. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to ask Claude to generate just a complete web page for my ShopEasy website. And then it should just be an index.html, CSS, all in one. So it's just going to be a single file. That I will take, which is going to be our website, and then we are going to integrate our chat widget with it. But before that, once as Claude generates it, I want to show you guys something. So now that our chat widget is up and running, there is a way we can test this in Connect itself. So to do that, I'll just come in here and then open test chat. So to test chat, I'll click on test settings, and then I can pick or select my inbound flow, right? The ShopEasy flow we've been working with. Click on apply. And once I come in here, it's going to point to my flow. Thank you for calling ShopEasy. To check an order, say shopping or something. So if I come in and I say shopping, you get it. So it's now kind of treating it as a voice route, because the flow it's just a single flow that we're using. It's treating the same flow. So if you come into the flow, it asks this question, then it routes you to the agent. So that's pretty much the exact same thing happening. So what did I do? I came in here, did shop. So it came in, went through the shop route, it sets the working queue, transferred, I think it transferred to the queue, we are sorry, and I got it disconnected. So let me try again. So let me do refund. So now this is supposed to be say a music. So it's still going to my customer queue flow, the experience that you configured in the last class. So if I want to see exactly what is happening in my flow, let me just come to CloudWatch log. That will give me a clear understanding why it's getting disconnected. In the time being, let's look at Claude is still generating. So I'll look for my log group. So this is the first one. So this is the current one. So let me open it. So what is happening is comes in, get customer inputs. So there is a get customer input in my customer queue flow, which is failing. So it plays that and then it's getting disconnected. So to simply see that, let me quickly resolve this by checking my customer queue flow. So this is my customer queue flow. And I can see that as part of the log. So I come in. So it comes in. And then this is erroring out. So it comes through this route and then it gets disconnected. That's why the disconnect is happening. Because we've added this to our flow, let me use this opportunity to show you guys something also. I don't want the chats to use the same customer queue flow, right? So all that I'm going to do is that I'm going to modify it from my entry block. So what I can do is to check contact attributes. Guys, remember, as part of this series, I just want you guys to see all these things, modify the experience, play with it, and then if you have any questions, just let me know. So what I'm going to check is that I want to check the channel, right? If the channel equals chats, if the channel equals chats, I want to skip this set voice and this working queue. Other than that, let me come through it. So what I'm saying is this. If it comes in and it's chat, I don't want it to go to my customer queue flow, right? That we configured. I want to skip it. So I'm just doing this. I'm going to publish. And then now this should take us into our customer queue, the default customer queue flow. So now let me come back to my test experience again. Open this. Let me do refund. So now you see we have our refund response message. Now, if I come live as an agent, right? So it's not working. So there could be multiple reasons why I'm not getting the chat. So now let's first look at the routing profile for this particular agent. Since I'm logging as the admin user, the security profile is going to be, sorry, the routing profile is going to be the basic routing profile. So I'll simply come to routing profile, look for my basic routing profile, and then ensure I have chat enabled. I have the basic queue, I have the education queue, then I have the finance queue. All of them are enabled. And then for these two queues, currently what is happening is that I don't have chat enabled for them. So let me look at my contact flow to see what exactly is happening. Which queue am I hitting? So I came in here. I selected, I think, refund, right? So where does refund goes to? It comes in here. It comes to queue, and then it comes to the retained queue. So now let me check my routing profile again. This is a good catch. I don't have it in my routing profile. That is why the chat is not coming. So if I want, I can easily add that queue to this routing profile. My retains queue, and then I'll enable the chat also. Let me save. Now, let me end this chat. You can see now it was coming in. Just as let me end it. Set myself offline. Let me set myself available again. Initiate a new chat. So if I do retains or refund, I think it's the same intent. So, all right, wait. Now you see the chat coming in. So now I can chat. Yes. So now our chat is working. The rest is that we are going to integrate this whole thing into our website that we are generating. So now I have this website. Oh, okay. This is what Claude came up with. Yeah, just generate yours and then use. Since it's not the focus of this class, I'm not going to worry so much. I'm just going to copy this. Then I'll get a text editor. I prefer to use VS Code. So I have this in my VS Code. I'm just going to do index.html. So you can just have virtually any text editor you want. You can have it and then you should be good. So this is my index.html. If I preview it, you will see the website. So this is the website Claude generated for me. It's not nice, but we will leave it like that. So what I can do now is to integrate this whole chat widget with my application. So I'll come back to the chat page and then I'll copy this. So now, one of the things I can do is integrate this script. So if I come to my web page, look at this. You see now we can see this symbol. So if I click on this now, it's saying we were unable to load the chats. Let me check something on this page too. So if I come here, this is one crucial thing. So we are getting it from https localhost 55,000. But see how I'm accessing my web page. That is why I'm getting this issue. So if I want to get this chat widget to work, what I have to do is that I have to ensure I have the same thing as I have in here. So if this was an actual website, we didn't have faced this challenge, because what would have happened was that you have your actual domain. But because this is just a test environment, that's why this is happening. So I'm just going to try and then access this site. Localhost. Right. Now you see my chat widget. If I click on it, you see it's working. Thank you for calling ShopEasy. Now I can do my hello. Then if I come to my connect page, let me close this chat. Let me set myself as available again. Oh, I didn't select any menu option on my page. Hello. Oh, sorry. So I think this one there, this went to the fallback intent and then it hits the AI agent, which you have not yet configured. Let me just do this. Let me do refund. If I come here and I set myself available, you will see the chats coming in. So if I do hello, it is working fine with my chat application. There is a way you can customize this. I have a video on that on the channel. If you want it, you can check it out. So that's how simple we can integrate chat with our application. We just create our widget and then we integrate it. There are other fancy stuff you can do now with the inbuilt chat experience. You can look at my channel for videos where I make use of some of these things, certain configurations, then modify it. Thank you so much for watching, and then let's meet in the next video.